Thanks, Felicia. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And I know that our title calls this a wreath. It's not really a wreath. It could be used as a wreath on a door, but a little different makeup than a wreath. So if we want to go to overhead, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I found at Michael's to create this. So, and I've already drawn the skull shape, and this is an option, but this is our 2 by 10 inch green FloraFōM wreath. You'll need one of these. And the one that I did here, I actually cut the base out as a skull, but then once I got all the florals on it, I realized that you really can't see the skull shape anymore. So this is totally optional to turn it into a skull or to not. Some other items we're gonna need. I found this big, they call it a carnivorous flower. So I thought that was really cool and scary. I loved these little aloe picks and these fun Halloween colors. They're all a little different. Grabbed 3 of those. And they had this floral pick, this Halloween floral pick that just has all these fun purples and pinks and some fun textures in there. I grabbed one of those. And then just for some more creepy texture, I grabbed a little stem of this thistle, dark green thistle. And then for some hanging, dangling off the side of our arrangement, I found this, it's just black, just called black greenery, just one of those. We have, this is just a black painted fern, something else to just hang and look fun. And then this, what do they call this? This is, they don't really call it anything, moss stem, I guess. It looks like mossed tendrils or whatever. And that's just another texture to hang off. And then to cover the rest of the foam, any that's left, I found this fun multi-pack of different, it's got reindeer, it's got greenery, green moss, it's got lichen moss and some black dyed, looks like Spanish moss. So some fun mosses to use. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I'll go over some tools here too, but we're going to need some cutters to cut the stems. If you are going to cut the skull out, then you'll just need a marker or something to follow your pattern. You'll need a serrated knife to cut out your skull. And any serrated knife, this happens to be a handsaw, a keyhole saw, I think they call it, from the hardware. I'm not sure that we'll need scissors. Might need a glue gun. I'm gonna show you how to attach a hanger in the top of it, DIY hanger. So you'll need a low temp glue gun for that. And we use low temp because a lot of times the high temp guns just get so hot that they'll melt our foam. So just use a low temp gun. And then to help secure some of that moss on, we're going to use these floral pins. I don't know if you guys can see them. So it's a greening pin, they call it. Sometimes they call them S pins, but it just helps secure things into our foam or onto our foam. I think that's about it for tools. So what you would do if you want to do a skull, all I did was went online, I found a skull pattern, a free skull pattern, printed it out so that it was 10 inches tall to fit the disc, and laid it on here and traced around it. So that's what I did so far. And to cut it out, the serrated knife works the best. It just cuts into the foam nice. You're going to use a sawing motion while you're cutting. So I'll get this going. Just like that. And then if you have little spots where you don't like where your edge is a little uneven, just going to break off a little piece of the scrap. And if you just rub it on those little edges that are rough, it'll smooth it right out for you. Like that. All right, I'll get the other side cut out. Right. Again, any rough edges, we're just gonna use this like a sanding block. There. So while you guys finish cutting this out, maybe Emma can tell us where you're all calling from. Anybody?
We have one person joining us from North Carolina. We have many other makers in the chat with us. So why don't you share where you're joining with us from today, and if you're crafting along with us or if you plan on doing this later?
Yeah, let us know. All right, now that we have this guy all cut out, I'm gonna lay him down so I can see what I'm doing. So I point you guys in the right direction. Okay, first thing I'm gonna start out with, I like to start out with my bigger items, kind of your focal, and then then you know that you'll have room to fit it on there. It's kind of big. Now this stem on here is super, I don't think you're gonna get it cut with these cutters. So what I'm gonna do, a trick that I do so I don't have to cut the stem off, is just bend that stem to the side and use your floral pins to just put that wherever you want it. I think I'm going to have it right up there in that left-hand corner, top left-hand corner. So just take your floral pins, and can you guys see what I'm doing here? We're just going to put them in at a slight angle. And when you put them in at an angle, it's just going to keep them from popping straight out easier. So if you put them in at an angle, then when any tension on here, they're not going to pop right back out. I just like to angle them in. And that's going to secure that down without having to cut that stem off. And I just play with the leaves and let them do whatever they're going to do. And now let's get our flowers out. Any questions so far? Has everybody got their skull cut out or not?
No questions yet, but we do have some people joining us from Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, another from Florida, and someone from Iowa that's crafting later, but this is their first time using our foam.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome. It won't be your last. All right, so on here, I mean, this skull shape doesn't, like I said, once you get everything on here, you're not going to see that it's a skull. So I didn't worry about doing eyes or nose or mouth on any of this. So what I did after the large flower here is I just started filling in around it and getting some of this purple around the outside edge or around the focal flower there. I just want to get this purple color in a few areas here. So one there, one on the left, one on the right. And we'll do one above it too. Get that purple up here. So there's your that pretty purple color around. And we have some black. And these you can just put in where you want them, where you need a little fill in. I think I like one here on this side. Now, if you want to do eyes, these two black mums, if you put like a black glittered ball inside there, they could almost be his eyes. If you do want to make eyes on them. Got one black here. I'm going to go opposite. So I'll do a black opposite the first one and I'll put one up here. Maybe. That looks good. All right, and then a couple little splashes of pink. And I'll use those opposite each other just so that color gets throughout the arrangement. I think I'll add a little down here low. Kind of stands out. And then maybe one opposite. So I'll go up to the top right up here. Yeah, so far so good. So far we've added the focal, which is the carnivorous there. And we went around it with the 3 purple, added in some black opposite, and then some pink on opposite sides.
If you know, if you're shopping at Michael's, you'll see 3 different types of our foam that's green in color. Why did you pick XPS today? Can you tell us a little bit about that particular type of foam?
Well, XPS is holds its shape the best. I thought that maybe this might be going outdoors on your door for trick-or-treating. So it holds up real nice outside. It holds floral stems really nicely. Yeah, our dry foam is more, which is our other green foam, is more for dried fragile flowers. It's really soft, so it just wouldn't hold up as nice outdoors. You have this little fun little vine. I'm just gonna let it hang over here. We have a bunch more danglies to use, but put that one down that side. Well, let's play with these. And, you know, I mean, I'm using all these dark florals and all this dark, scary stuff. But any florals are going to work with this. Anything that you'd want to substitute. They have so many pretty Halloween and fall bushes right now. And I mean, anything's going to work on here. So I wanted to add a few of these just for some more fun texture. These are just plastic, so they're going to cut pretty easy for you. But let me see. Kind of like, I think I'm going to start with one on this side. Oh, I must be on a leaf. There we go. Well, that adds a little fun texture on that side. And maybe we'll go up here. Do it in 3 spots. We'll put one on this side. Standing up. You could add lights to this. You could add some glitter to this. All right, we have one here, up there. We'll pop one in on this side also. Just to get that color and that texture all the way around. We're gonna let a few of these kind of poke out here and there. And just however and wherever. Like one up there at the top. We'll have one over here on this side. So you're just spreading that texture around just so your eyes can kind of follow that around and see all the fun textures. We're going to put one right here in the middle. And where else do we need a little something, something? I'm going to let one come out right here and hang down a little bit. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to put these kind of they're the longest, so I'm going to put them kind of at the back of the hanging vines so they don't cover up the others. Just tag off. And then also this has got a couple different branches. So I'm going to take the smaller branch, this shorter branch, and cut that right off and use it on the other side of the head. So we have a little bit of this on both sides. So this one, cut off these separately. So yeah, so this long one, I'm going to have that come from the back so you can put it and stick it right into the top of the foam up here. And then anytime, if this is going to be outside, if this is going to be outside on a door, because this stem is so slippery and some of these stems are slippery, you might want to add a little bit of glue to the end of the stem before you insert it. My glue gun don't want to work. And that'll just help hold it in the foam a little nicer for you. I'm not really sure what's going on with my glue gun. So then that'll hang out from the side and down. And then this guy. Try that again. Hey, look at there. This guy we're going to put on the other side. So we have a little of the same dangling down on this side. Right there. That's the first part. And then this fern, this black fern has a lot of stems on it. And we're going to cut those apart and use them throughout the arrangement. We'll cut them right off the stem. How's everyone doing out there? I think last time we asked who was decorating, and like there were quite a few people that were already decorated for Halloween.
Yes, there certainly were. So who is decorated? Have we moved on to Thanksgiving yet, or are we still in the Halloween spirit?
All right, let's take these longer ones. We're gonna put those in right in front of, and again, a little bit of glue on here. It'll just hold them in there a little nicer for you. If it's windy or on the door, opening and closing, it just holds them in there a little nicer for you. I'm gonna use another one of these over here. And another long one on this side. Help fill in.
It looks like most people are still on Halloween, but someone said that they just decorated yesterday because last week it was still in the 90s.
Oh, yes.
They must not
Yeah.
live in Michigan.
Well, wait, we had 80s last week. Yeah, I mean, crazy for us, but we did have.
Weather, but it has quickly changed to fall.
Yeah, like overnight. All right, and then I'm gonna use another piece of this longer on this side with these couple of shorter stems on there. Right at the top to help fill in. We might even let this one just be crazy and stick right out. Look at that. Kind of fun. All right, and then there's this little guy. I think this was the last little piece on that stem. Probably definitely need a little glue on here. And I'm just gonna put him right up here in the middle too, just to let him stand up. Just to get that color and that texture all the way around the top there. Just let that go. All right. So to put the spider in, we have a lot of open green here. Oh, I have one more. I have this guy. This is kind of fun. I liked this because it was a little bit shiny. Everything else on there was kind of dull, and this kind of caught the light. So I grabbed it. But again, like I said, you could easily add battery operated lights in here. Would be really cool. Or glitter, little bit of glitter on these edges of these flowers, or spray glitter on here would be really pretty. Add to it a little bit.
It's a little bit more of a transitional piece where they're going to remove some spooky to keep it around for Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow, nice. Good idea. Always nice when you can keep up your hard work for a little longer. Right. So this I just kind of worked in here and there on the side. They're a little bit shorter pieces. So you might have to put one up towards the top, one there in the middle, and then maybe one down a little lower. So it hangs with the rest of these vines. It just adds a little shimmer in there. I just liked that little bit of shine in there. And then this couple that are left, we're going to use on the other side. Same thing, one up kind of a little taller. And again, remember to put glue on the end of these so they stay in a little nicer for you. And then this one we'll put down a little lower. It's like the oh, the Tiki Man. Is it the Tiki Man on that movie, on that new kids show? The little Tiki Men. Yeah. All right. So to cover up the rest of this, this is where the moss comes in. And it's literally just kind of do your own thing. We're just wanting to cover up the green. So a lot of this around the outside edge is pretty well covered with greens and leaves and such up there. So it looks like all we really got to worry about is this area down here. So I'm going to start with this sheet moss, or they call it, I call it sheet moss. What do they call it? Floral moss, forest moss. There's a lot of different names for it. So just grab a piece of it, flatten it out as best you can, and go ahead and lay it where you want it to cover. And then just add a couple floral pins to secure it to the foam. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to keep it in place. And then you'll see that little silver. So just kind of pinch the moss around the pin to kind of hide the pin under there. So we'll put a little of this moss on this side too. And just kind of lay the little piece where you want it and grab a few pins and secure it in place. You can use glue to secure the foam if you want, or the moss if you want. I'm gonna tuck some up under here. I can see a little bit of green coming through the flowers. And then maybe I have this nice little strip left that looks like it's going to fit right along this bottom side. I'll go ahead and put it there. There, so we have a few patches of the floral moss on there. Well, let's see. Maybe a little of the reindeer. We'll put a patch of it that looks like a big enough piece to fit right there on the side. They have a ton of pre-made Halloween spookiness that this will go really nice with. Some of the pictures and some of the wall plaques and things that they have, this will fit right in with that. And if you haven't been to Michael's in a while, you've got to get in there. It's really cool stuff in there. So all I'm doing is just placing around these different textures of mosses to help cover up this empty space here. I kind of want to leave the middle for this black because it just makes that, if you're going to use the spider. Oh, and I didn't say in the materials that we had to have a spider, but it's in the list. I just didn't mention him. But yes, you need a spider to put in here. And I put this black here in the middle just because it helps him stand out a little better. Because he's, well, you guys saw him. This guy. This helps him stand out from the arrangement.
Speaking of spiders, Sandy, it's that time of the day.
Oh, good.
For those of you that don't know, here at FloraCraft, we like to make it fun. So I like to bring a joke of the day for every class. So are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. What do you get when you cross a spider and an ear of corn?
Oh my goodness. I guess I'm not sure.
Cobwebs.
Okay, that's cute. All right, so see, now you guys get a craft and a joke to share. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Cobwebs. Oh, all right. Just continuing to add this little moss here and there. I like a little peek of it right there. Maybe we'll use some of this up here. Well, you don't really see it. So, I'll just add to this little bop here. Might not use all your moss, guys. That's okay. We'll keep it for your next project. Put it in your plants. Piece up here. And then this stuff's kind of fun too. I really like this lichen moss. It just looks kind of creepy. It's kind of hard to pin this stuff though, because it's a little bit brittle. So I'm gonna glue this in. I'll put some right there in the front. And you can put this right over top of the other moss too. It doesn't have to go right on the green foam. It's just a really fun texture. I just like how it looked. I'm going to use that whole great big piece together. I'm going to tuck it right over here under this aloe. Just let it kind of hang out from over there. Yeah, see that? And then this stuff is fun too. You could even, actually, you could even just stick like pieces of this kind of coming out of the flowers. I didn't do that on that one, but it might be kind of fun, just like it's growing right out of the flowers. Maybe like right over here by this other aloe. And just let it kind of peek out. Yeah, kind of gives that color, brings that color out, and a little bit of fun texture over there. What they're all kind of cool looking. I don't know which one to use. One more under here, peeking out from that side. And we'll call that good. And then just if there's any pins that are peeking out at you, I know with this black especially, just kind of pinch the moss around until it covers up that silver pin. I'm making a mess today, that's for sure. All right. So any more questions about where to place stuff, what we've done so far? No? So there's a couple ways that you can put this guy on. One way I found I kind of liked, because you could position him better, is I just took a stick, just a little dowel or a little wood pick, and just kind of picked it in at an angle and then shoved that pick right through his little skeleton body. And you could put a little bit of glue on there, and that would help hold him kind of upright. That way he's kind of looking out from it. How do I get you? Yeah, like that. He's kind of creeping out from it. Or you can glue his little belly right in there and have him just flat down. You could use a couple of these floral pins through the, I guess, the rib cage to secure them in. You could hang him from a little string and hang him off the front of it too, I guess. He would be kind of cool hanging from it too. So that's kind of it for that. I do want to show you real quick. If you can get maybe we'll use this one. So this is just a stem from, I don't know, maybe like the flowers, I think it is. So just cut off a long stem and just make a U or a, like that. And then lots and lots of glue on the ends of it. And you can stick it right here in the top of the foam, those two ends in, push them in there kind of deep so that they're secured in there real tight, and that makes a nice little hanger. Can you see it? Yeah, there you can see it. This little guy here to hang on a nail or on your wreath hanger or whatever you have. I think this stem I used was a little longer piece of a stem I found. So whatever you can find, piece of wire, piece of coat hanger, anything to make a little hook for your spider to hang on. And then before we go, since it looks like we have a little time, our next class will be holiday decorating, and it is on November 15th will be that class. And then if we want to go to front facing, I'll show you what we're making. So we're gonna make this fun table centerpiece. This is our skinny straw wreath. It's perfect for this. It has this nice skinny profile, so it's perfect for a Thanksgiving centerpiece. And then should we show them the other skull? Yeah, okay. So this isn't finished, but to make this, if you want to make a skull and you want it to be more like a skull, what I did with this one is it's the same cutout as I used, but I took a spoon and scooped out the eyeballs, painted them black, and then added black glitter. I did the nose and the mouth the same way. And then, like I said, this isn't finished, but you could take all those fun fall colored flowers that aren't as spooky as the spider and just do like a collage of flowers over the face. You know, I use little leaves here by his nose to show his nose. And so kind of fun, kind of a fun idea, different idea to use that skull shape and have it be a little prettier for Halloween. All right, I'll hold this up again. So that's it.
We do have one more question.
Oh, good.
Someone wants to know if you would consider a corn husk wreath for people that maybe have December tamale parties. I don't know what we have planned for our future classes. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we could work in a corn husk wreath for sure. Yes. So that's our class for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making it fun with FloraCraft. Enjoy your Halloween.